All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we got an update as Gervonta Davis is getting pressed on for a fight for big money, and it ain't Roach. Let's talk about what is going on between Gervonta Davis and the great Vasily Lomachenko in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, I want to talk about an update on Gervonta Davis as it appears that his vulnerability that was shown in his fight with Roach is something that rival promoters want to capitalize on. So Egis Klimas, who is the manager of Vasily Lomachenko, let it be known that they want to fight Gervonta Davis next. And that would put on the back burner the rematch with Roach. Now, before I get into the details and tell you what I think about that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. And thank you to everybody that supports, and a super thanks of the video. It's a great way to help the channel out. We do not receive sponsorships or back alley money from promoters. So thank you to everybody that supports the word that we're getting out here today. So I want to see the Gervonta Davis Roach fight. I want to see the Gervonta Davis Lomachenko fight. I want to see the Gervonta Davis Shakur fight. Let me repeat. I want to see the Gervonta Davis Roach rematch. I want to see Gervonta Davis versus Vasily Lomachenko. I want to see Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. And I want to see Gervonta Davis versus Keyshawn Davis. I want to see all those fights. So before anybody tells me how I'm bad for boxing because of my opinion, no, I want to see all of these fights. I don't care if Gervonta Davis had lost to Roach. I would have still wanted to see Gervonta Davis fight Lomachenko. I don't care if Lomachenko, I want to see all of these guys in that weight division fight each other. And I might be a little bit more patient than some other fight fans are that say they want to see one fight and one fight only. If it's not that fight, then That said, Egis Klimas came out and said that they want Gervonta Davis. He thought that Gervonta Davis is the type of match and exciting fight that fans would love because Gervonta ain't somebody that's going to run around and not try to fight. That Vasily Lomachenko is somebody that is not going to run around. He's going to stand there and fight. And they think that that is a very, very exciting fight for boxing and something that really could top off Lomachenko's career if Lomachenko wins. It could really put a big star in, a big feather in the cap of Gervonta Davis if Gervonta Davis is able to win. So I don't have a problem with it. I do believe, though, that Gervonta Davis's fight with Roach probably has something to do with why Lomachenko and his team want to have the fight now, because they were supposed to fight instead of Roach. So remember this, Gervonta was supposed to fight Lomachenko, and he was not supposed to fight Roach. Because Lomachenko didn't want to fight until the end of the year or come back to the beginning of this year, Gervonta entered into the negotiations with Roach, right? Now, the Roach fight wound up being a very tight fight. Some people thought Gervonta Davis lost. Some people thought Roach lost. Or some people thought Tank won and some other people thought Roach won, but it was a very close fight. So what do? If you're Gervonta, do you go back to the original fight that you were looking to fight? Or do you say, okay, no, let me go ahead and let me do this first, and then let me get back to the fight that I was originally wanting to have? For Gervonta Davis personally, I'm okay with whatever decision that he makes because I think that they're both very viable fights and both fights that I would want to see. Now, as far as what you're going to hear in the media and what you're going to hear from everybody else, a lot of other people go, oh, no. I want that rematch. Only the rematch. Well, it's a little bit of a balancing act, right? Because Gervonta Davis is actually being offered his first unification fight. Something he's never had before. He's never had another champion in the same division offer to fight him. So for him personally, what's more important? Is it the grudge match and Lamont Roach and getting to that right away, or is it to achieve an accomplishment of being a unified champ, something that people ridicule him consistently for never having been? So the people on the side that criticize Gervonta Davis for never unifying are going to say, no, you're ducking Lamont Roach. Even though they would say for somebody else, oh, he's a champion and he's unifying, right? Let's see if Gervonta Davis, if he decides to fight Lamont Roach, which I do not know whether he will or he will not, but let's say he actually fights Lomachenko instead of Lamont Roach, which, by the way, is a huge fight. Both of those fights are huge. Lomachenko fight is probably even bigger because of the Lamont Roach fight. But and the fact that Lamont Roach has, obviously has a much bigger, or Lomachenko has a much bigger name than Lamont Roach does. So, I mean, it's just a funny situation. The money and the unification is probably with Lomachenko. The grudge match and the shut up your critics type stuff is with Lamont Roach. So it's going to be an interesting pick to see. I personally say I'm okay with either one. I would be okay for sure if Gervonta Davis decided to fight Shakur Stevenson next instead of Lamont Roach. And I don't think many people would argue with that, because many of the people, well, they would argue, but once again, they would be twisting their own argument up in a like a pretzel. But because they would have been saying that Gervonta Davis is never unified, but then he fights for unification. But, Gervonta can't fight for unification. He has to have the rematch, right? So what is it? It's going to be what Gervonta Davis wants it to be, and it's going to be a good answer no matter what it was. So again, with that example, Shakur Stevenson, it's the same thing. Whole bunch of people are claiming Gervonta Davis is ducking Shakur, you're ducking Shakur. But at the same time that they're saying he's ducking Shakur, they're also telling him that he has to fight Lamont Roach. So it's kind of difficult to understand and get the viewpoint of any of these people that say these things, because again, their logic is all twisted up. And if you apply one thing, the logic they use to one thing to something else, they all of a sudden don't want to use that same logic on another set of facts that are similar, right? So Devin Haney, for example, doesn't fight a mandatory. He goes up in weight, right? So he doesn't fight Shakur. So he goes up in weight and fights a much lesser opponent in Regis Prograis. And what do people say? Oh, he's chasing greatness. But he had a mandatory. He was supposed to be in a negotiation for a mandatory fight. These guys have history with each other. They sparred with each other. But what was it? Nope. No, Shakur. We're going right for Regis. And then as soon as he runs up into somebody on the level of Shakur or Gervonta, which I do believe Ryan Garcia is, he's butt out. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Just understand that you may see Lomachenko before you see Lamont Roach. If that happens, do not be surprised. Do not be surprised if that happens. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.